good football, and they are very attractive to watch. And I think they perhaps needed someone just to stick away the chances, and Tony Cotty's come back, and he's done that.
It'll be interesting to see how Blackburn respond to that first defeat of the season, and also the fact that Craig Short decided to go to Derby rather than Blackburn in the transfer. That was a bold decision by him, wasn't it?
It was a bit of a surprise, because with Blackburn flying high in the Premier League, I just think maybe he's so close to Nottingham, Derby, it might have been that connection.
Okay, now to the rest of the latest Premier League action, starting with the continuing problems for the bottom of the table side, Nottingham Forest.
Waddle. Great change of direction there. Fed through to Paul Warhurst. He's got beyond Laws. Sheffield Wednesday in front. And Trevor Francis' gamble on Paul Warhurst pays spectacular dividends. Hyde is in from Bright's touch. Graham Hyde, 2-0. Littleman's first goal in league football has given Sheffield Wednesday clear breathing space with 12 minutes of the second half gone. Pierce with the cross, good header! And they've got one back through Gary Bannister.
Middlesbrough can be a bit fragile away from home. 10 league defeats last season on the way to promotion. But they got lucky at Manchester City last week. Peter Reid's volley rebounding into his own goal off young Gary Flitcroft. Well, that should put Borough in good heart for today's visit to Queen's Park Rangers. City play Chelsea tomorrow.
Pressed into action as a striker, Mick Stockwell was given a generous welcome by Wimbledon, who allowed him to score after only 14 minutes. Wimbledon's equaliser owed much to a fine, clean jump by John Fashanu, but they felt their goalkeeper was impeded when Dean Holdsworth scored. It's always nice, though, to be able to discuss such things in a winning dressing room. And a good left-side move, which Stockwell finished crisply from a tight angle, ensured that that would be the case. He takes his style and the Premier League's only unbeaten record to Oldham today.
Are Southampton fulfilling the expectations that they would struggle, or are they just unlucky? Here in the stripes, they cause enough confusion in Queen's Park Rangers' defence to deserve the lead that Matthew Le Tissier gave them last Saturday. But then they went down to 2 splendidly taken goals. You could argue that no defence would have kept out Andy Sinton's free kick. And specialises in. So Saints beware against Leeds today.
One long clearance, a good header by Brian Dean, quick reaction and shot by Adrian Littlejohn. Liverpool embarrassment, Sheffield delight. Arsenal not the best at the back, beware.
Crystal Palace and Oldham Athletic have each drawn 5 games out of 8, but none of them has been goalless. At Selhurst Park, Oldham in blue scored first. Ian Olney converting Gunnar Haller's cross. Crystal Palace had just spent £1 million on Chris Armstrong from Millwall, a gamble on potential rather than investment in achievement. When Armstrong equalised, it was only his 24th goal in all competitions for 3 clubs. The 25th arrived only a minute later. Maybe this will be a big money gamble with a big goal dividend. Palace's change of tactics, pushing McGoldrick forward, seemed to be rewarded. At 12 minutes from time, Graham Sharp turned in Paul Bernard's cross, 2-2. Treble chance students note Oldham at home today to Ipswich, Palace away to Everton.
A typical run of awareness by Ray Houghton, And an excellent dispatch by Gary Parker brought a smile to the face of Villa's new boy, Dean Saunders, joining the congratulations. But Leeds' currency, among the best in England, looked good enough. Steve Hodges' move was late in the day, but they deserved parity at 1-1. In the mirror to wider happenings, though, Europe told a different tale.
8 games played, and Coventry smile down at the cynics and get on with winning matches. It wasn't John Williams' pace that beat Spurs, but after he'd lost the ball, Coventry retrieved it, and Peter Ndolovu's effort was deflected to Williams, and his header looped into the net. Coventry will look for their 7th win today at Nottingham Forest, Tottenham for their 3rd at home to Manchester United.
And while Coventry goes second in the table, Spurs, Gary, still struggling to find their feet.
They are, but they've got what is a large amount of a new team, probably 50% of them, and it's going to take time. They are in a transitional stage, a little bit like Liverpool are, and you can see both of them there are stuttering a little bit, but they'll be hoping that they can get a win today at Manchester United. It'll be a good game.
At White Hart Lane you're going, aren't you?
I am, yes.
And that's it from us. But let me remind you that tonight, match of the day, of course, 11:05, BBC One, as always, all the goals from this afternoon's Premier League game.
Bob, Gary, thanks very much. I've just arrived back in the studio, so I missed most of the focus. I'm sure it was as comprehensive as ever. Paralympics coming up after the news. And then, well, I'm just back from Didcot, where Frank Williams has had some very interesting things to say about Nigel Mansell. That's after 2.
Imagine a world where the biggest star in football is a girl.
Else.
Yeah, do with though, eh?
Don't imagine. Screen 1, Born Kicking, tomorrow, 9:25 on BBC One.
And now we join Chris Lowe for a summary of the news.